Okay, today we're going to make breakfast in the van. Starting out, I've got the burner set to very low and a frying pan, cast iron. I'm going to cook some toast first. How do I cook toast? I just throw some in a frying pan, throw some bread in a frying pan, and on low heat. And just as I'm scrambling eggs and doing that kind of stuff, it'll just toast the bread. So on to other things while it's doing that. Get out some eggs. I'm going to just have scrambled eggs, ham and eggs, the old favorite. Little ham and some eggs. I've already made coffee. I've done that in another video showing how I make coffee. I'll put a link in someplace down below to that video. I use a one cup Melita drip coffee maker. The small filters, obviously a saucepan to boil the water, and a Hydro Flask thermos cup. So there we have some nice cubed ham. Or Canadian bacon, as some people call it. We'll check on our toast. Not doing much, so I'll turn the heat up a little bit. It's getting toasty, it's just not turning brown, so we'll just turn it up a little bit to get that nice golden brown to the toast. So there we go, we're getting a nice brown patina on the toast. That'll be done in another minute or so, and I can put the eggs and ham in, get the ham started. I do this in a step-by-step process. The pan's dry, with the exception of the residual oil from the last time I used it. So the toast will toast nicely in the dry pan. I want to do that first, make the toast first. And then I put a little oil in the pan, we'll get to that, and the ham, and that lubricates the pan, gets it nice and oily in there, fries the ham a little bit. And then the last step is dropping the eggs in and scrambling the eggs. And then when you dump everything out, it's like a no-stick surface. Everything just comes right out of the pan, you'll see. Okay, so now I've got the toast out, buttered, and a little jam on it. I've put some cooking oil in the frying pan, and now I'm going to put in the ham and get that sizzling and cooking. Turn the heat down a little bit because it's cooking up pretty quick. Here's the important part. I was able to find a lid at Goodwill that fits this frying pan perfectly. And so putting that on keeps the spatters down and cooks the ham a little more evenly. So I'm just going to turn this down. It's down pretty far. Let that ham cook for a minute or two, and then we're ready to put the eggs in. Okay, that ham is nicely browned, and now we're going to just drop those eggs right in there. Let them cook for a minute, and the bowl's full of egg, so I'm going to whisk out the bowl. Bowl's full of egg. I'm going to whisk it out with a couple of napkins and use the same bowl to put the eggs back in here after they've cooked. Keeps my cleanup down to a minimum. And maybe a shot of vinegar in there. There we go. I gotta turn the eggs a little bit. Get them moving around. That heat up a little bit. There we go. So there's the bowl. It's all set and ready to accept the eggs once we've got them all cooked up. The oil and the grease from the bacon, very little oil, maybe a teaspoon of oil, and then swishing around the bacon or the Canadian bacon ham, lubricates the pan. So virtually this pan is going to be almost spot free when I'm done. The eggs are the consistency I like, so off goes the burner, and out comes the seasoning. I'm just going to use a little salt and pepper. There we are. Guess I was there. There's a little salt. Okay, salt and pepper, that's good. So this is ready. Don't forget your pot holder because it's hot as hell. This is ready to drop back in the pan, or in the bowl. There we are. And as you can see, the pan is really almost clean. I mean, one swipe with a napkin or paper towel and it'll be clean. Ready for next time. So we'll just leave the pan. A little piece of bacon there. And scramble up the eggs. And I like barbecue sauce on my eggs. I don't know what, some people like ketchup, some people like onions. I just happen to like the taste of barbecue sauce. It's not as zesty as salsa, and a little more than ketchup. So that should be enough there for me. So there you have it. There's the plated breakfast. Got a little halo, Tangelo type orange here for some vitamin C. And there's the coffee mug. We'll let things cool off on the stove here and have ourselves a nice breakfast. The great news here, coffee, creamer, orange, eggs, everything included. The breakfast is about $1.50. There you go. So here is what I have in the way of cleanup from breakfast. Got to clean up the frying pan, the plate, the bowl, spatula, knife, fork, and my spreader for butter and jam. And that's it. So we'll get those cleaned up, starting with the frying pan. So how do I clean this up? Well, first thing, I use a towel because the handle's still hot. There's a little bit of spatter inside the lid. I'll deal with that in a second. I need a napkin or a paper towel. So we'll use a napkin. We'll get the little flakes of eggs down near the bottom here, and then I'm going to just throw it in the garbage can. Okay, there you have it. And hopefully you can see in here. I'll try and make it so you can see. That's a real shiny pan. What is all that shine? It's oil that's polymerized. It creates its own surface inside the pan, so it's like a no-stick surface. If you take care of a cast iron frying pan and use it properly, this is what you can expect after you scramble eggs in it. For the lid, I'm just going to spray a little bit of vinegar inside the lid and use a napkin and wipe the vinegar out. The vinegar will dissolve the little grease spatters inside. It'll also act as a mild disinfectant to kill any germs or anything that might be inside, you know, growing in the lid, that sort of thing. And then a quick buff with the towel, and there you got your lid all done. The bowl is next. How am I going to clean the bowl? Same procedure. I've showed this before in other videos. I just put a little bit of vinegar in the bowl. And then wipe out the remnants of the food stuffs in the bowl. Another shot of vinegar. And this will do it here. There we go. And just maybe one more quick shot. And it's ready for cereal or whatever soup, whatever I want to put in there for the next meal. Does the vinegar taste? No, it evaporates. It doesn't smell. Same thing with the plate. Quick shot. Another napkin. Quick shot. Dry it with a towel. The alcohol in the vinegar also helps things dry quickly, so I can just put this stuff away immediately. And for our knives and forks and utensils, same procedure, just a paper towel. I just put it down on the cutting board and spray with a little vinegar. Wipe the knife off. Little vinegar. Wipe off the spatula. Little vinegar. Wipe off the fork. I don't really care for these spatulas with the holes in them because they're hard to clean. I had this one in the van. I've got to take it out and put one that's hard in there. But nonetheless, if it's hard to clean, you can always hit it with a little bit of a scrub brush. Knock that stuff loose. And there you go. Put the paper towel, spatula, and I'm done. I'm going to leave this on the stove a little longer just to cool off. But essentially that's it. So with the exception of the frying pan, which is still out because I don't want to put it away hot, we've got the whole galley area back to travel mode. We're all set to go, start the engine and take off if we wanted to. And I've got a couple more words. As I've grown more accustomed to the van and the lifestyle and so forth over the past couple years, for me, the key to being happy and comfortable and well fed in the van involves some planning and making some choices. It's easy just to whip some stuff out and try and make it and have a big mess to clean up. With a little thought and planning, I'm able to design a meal that uses just a few utensils and contains ingredients that are very healthful and good for you without having to cost a lot of money. It's also, people think, oh, I don't have the time to cook. For me, I've done time studies for businesses and different things, so I kind of think that way anyway. That's kind of good. But anyway, so it really, if you consider it, it really takes me less time to shop for some groceries, get what I want, no surprises, and then bring them into the van, and when it's time to cook them, just bring out what I need, cook it up, and eat it, and then clean up. Compared to getting in the van, figuring out, okay, where do I want to go? Do I want to go to Jack in the Box or Taco Bell, or do I want to go to an upscale restaurant? Is there going to be a long line? Am I going to have to wait? What's involved in all that? How much time do I have to prepare a meal? So for me, it's more time efficient to prepare most of my meals here in the van or near the van, and that works the best for me. The advantage is I can use really good ingredients. I can go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. I can get organic produce at the farmer's market. I can get locally grown things when they're in season. I can patronize local people that are trying to help the community feed itself, that sort of thing. All those things I feel good about. You may not care, and that's cool. Then in preparing things, I design meals that are easy to make and healthful. So those are the kind of the two criteria. One of the side benefits is by doing all this, I'm not paying for staff, building, utilities, food preparation, cleanup, advertising, etc., 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 that I would at a restaurant. So hence, a meal that might be $8, $10, $12 at a restaurant, I make for about $1.50. And it's with ingredients that I like better, personally. And I think I put a little more care into what I'm making and putting in my body than somebody slinging hash or cooking food in a restaurant does. It's a job to them. To me, it's something I'm doing to help myself. And on that note, when I'm sitting down eating my food, people do different things. I'm developing kind of a little, I won't call it a ritual, but a little pattern or something that I want to try and do, which is to think about what I'm putting in my body. These eggs are you know, good free-range hens that somebody cares about and is nurturing to make the best possible product. This produce is grown carefully and in enriched soil that doesn't have pesticides and that kind of thing. Whatever the things might be, I just try and think about the good aspects of what I'm putting in my body. And I think that as I do that and finish up my meal, it puts me in a great frame of mind. And I think that frame of mind trickles down into the body that I'm trying to take care of. The mind is trying to think, how do I take care of this body, this machine that I'm using to move around, do things, have fun, enjoy things, and expand my consciousness or awareness or mind or whatever you want to look at it as. What is it that I'm doing? And then if I'm doing the good things, allow that energy, those thoughts to permeate into the body. And I think it probably helps digestion, and it just makes me feel good about what I'm doing for myself. Maybe it won't do any good, you know, maybe I'll die tomorrow. But at least today, I'm in a good frame of mind. And I think it's important that as we move along through life and do our things, enough comes our way, unexpected and unusual things happen that we're not prepared for and that throw us for a loop. So if we can take a few moments and prepare ourselves, or at least put ourselves in a good state of mind, maybe it'll help prepare us for those times when things aren't going quite as well. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you liked it. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to, you know, if you think it'd help somebody else, then please share it with them. And one thing I really still need is subscriptions. So as many of you that are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It would be very much appreciated. And always, as always, comment as you see fit. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. So long.